you move me against him. See, in other words, I opened up, I allowed you to come in and affect different things around his life, and look at him. He's still maintaining his faith, his integrity. How many of us, and this question is specifically directed to whosoever considers themselves to be a believer, how many of us do that? In other words, in spite of the calamities, because sometimes what the Creator does, he allows the calamities to occur in our lives just to see whether or not we will maintain our faith to him. How many of us do and have that integrity? But let's move on. Verse 4. And Pashatan answered the Yahweh and said, skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thy hand now and touch, once again, his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. Now, look, again we see the power that the adversary is asking for to deal with an individual. But you know what we also see? How the adversary constantly goes before the Creator. Goes before the Creator. If you let me do this to this person, I'll make him curse you. Let's see. Verse 6. And Yahweh said unto Pashatan, behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. I'm going to allow you to bring some pain to the man's body. I'm going to allow you to afflict him, but don't take his life. And keep in mind, the focal point again, when you're under the protection of the Most High, the adversary can't touch you. He can't take your life. But what's happening to the world out there who don't have that hedge around them because they don't believe? Because their minds have been blinded by the God of this world. Where does the ungodly and the sinner appear? Verse 7. So went Pashatan forth from the presence of Yahweh and smote Iyov with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. So let's make a comparison now. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Which reads, be sober, be vigilant. See, first be sober. In other words, sober in contrast to being drunk. Keep that in mind. Be vigilant. You know, being vigilant means like to be steadfast, opposed to being slack. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, you see, going to and fro through the earth, walking up and down in it, as a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Now we got to ask the question. How does the adversary devour humanity? For this, let's go to Luke chapter 22 and read verse 31. And Adonai said, Shemun, Shemun, behold, Pashatan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. Now, how many of you are familiar with a sifter? Now, when I was growing up, what a sifter was, there was a metal piece, and if you look inside, it had a screen in it. And what you would do, you put the flour or the sugar, whatever it is that you wanted to sift, and you would hold it up by the handle, and there was another handle on the side. And what you would do, there were these two metal pieces inside. They would, when you turn the handle, they would turn. do, they would break down whatever was in there, the flour or the sugar, and then it fell through the bottom, then it became more powdery. So that's what a sift is. Think about that. So here's the question. When it says that he may sift you as wheat, what does that imply? Now it doesn't mean something that he's going to do to the physical body. It doesn't mean that he's going to take the physical body and grind it up. That's not what he's saying. When he said that he may sift you as wheat, it's talking about his mind. In other words, that's like with Babel. His intent is to confuse you. And how does he confuse you? We want to see various options. Has Elohim said? He's going to ask questions to instill doubt. You shall not surely die. He's going to tell you a lie. First he caused you to doubt the word, then he's going to feed you a lie so that now you're confused. Why did he? Is that true? So read this fairy tale over here. We see about the talking dead. Go out on the street. Go in the wilderness, in the forest. Try to talk to a dead. That dead don't talk. Just how it's just a fictional book. It's not real. So when you come to the word and you read about the talking snake that they say, that's not real. So what you've just done, you have doubted the word. So if you don't believe that's the word, why should you keep the Sabbath? Why should you maintain the dietary law? Why should you do any of those things? Think about that. See, this is how the adversary works. And again, what we're dealing with, the power of suggestion. What else has that adversary suggested?